Hello, today we are discussing about construction details of energy efficient motor. So here we consider as um, induction motor. Induction motor construction. So first we discuss how to improve the uh, efficiency by using some materials. So what are those? How to reduce losses in these machines? Reduce iron losses, copper losses. So how to reduce iron losses? So how to reduce iron losses means first reduce flux density. How it is? Increase stator rate, then reducing starting torque. So by increasing the stator rate, so flux density will be reduced. Finally, iron losses also reduces. And how to reduce the copper losses? So from that copper losses, that is stator produces stator copper losses, rotor produces also copper losses. How to reduce these two losses in copper losses in stator and rotor? So in that case, stator by increasing copper cross section. So what is happening? Rotor diameter also reduces. So from that case, what about resistance also reduces, copper loss also reduces. So what about reduce rotor copper losses? Increase rotor bar section. Increase rotor bar section. So what about that? Increase starting current and speed also. So from that case, what about starting torque? Reduces. So by taking these methods is done in induction motors to improve the efficiency. And diagrammatically, I represented as uh, everything energy losses in induction motors. So friction index losses 13%, rotor losses 20%, iron loss 23%, and stay losses 9%. So here I already mentioned. So what are the methods to take to improve that friction index losses? The chances to present friction index losses is 13%, and the stay low losses 9%, iron losses 23%, and rotor losses is 20%. So here I clearly note down the what we done to reduce the friction index losses, rotor losses. If we consider rotor losses, the heating in the rotor winding can be reduced by increasing the size of the conductor. Automatically, rotor losses also reduces. Similarly, stray low losses also. The result of leakage flux induced by the load currents can be improved by improving slot geometry. So like that, they can be reducing in motors. Now we concentrate what are the construction details about induction motor. So that is we know that well known about construction details of induction motor. The parts that is stator, rotor, um, bearings, stator, rotor. That is uh, stator first part, second part is rotor. So one more is that is a supply terminal box. Okay, so here we consider as a main parts is stator, rotor. Stator is a stationary part. So that is it consists of steel frame that supports to hollow and cylindrical core. So here already show that that is represented as stator core. From stator part there is a three part stator frame, outer layer of the stator core, and stator windings. So stator core is that is stator frame and stator core, stator frame, stator core, and that is stator windings. So this can be designed by that is consisting of steel frame that supports hollow and cylindrical core, and core constructed from the stamped laminations. Stampings are presented in this core, stator core. So that is laminations are there by decreasing the eddy current losses in that case. So having a number of evenly spaced slots. So stator has slots are presented, even number of evenly spaced slots, to providing the space for the stator windings. So to providing the space for the stator windings in stator core. Okay, and rotor. So rotor is it is two types of that is depends upon the rotor construction. Induction motor two types, that is a squirrel case and spring induction motor. So here revolving rotor. So rotor is a rotating part, stator is a stationary part. So stator is given to that rotor. Stator consists as stator winding. So by giving supply to the stator windings, so uh, they producing a stator as a rotating magnetic field. Rotating magnetic field. So these rotating magnetic field can induces in a can be links with the rotor magnetic field. So here we discuss in a rotor construction. So what are the rotor? What is the meaning that is slipping and squirrel cage induction. So okay, so I taken revolving rotor that is composed of punctual laminations stacked to create a series motor slots providing space for the rotor winding. So one of two types of rotor windings, that is a three-phase winding made up of insulated wire, that is wound rotor and squirrel cage. So wound rotor also called as a slip ring induction motor. Okay, so there is a two basic design types depending on the rotor design. Then is first one is squirrel cage and wound rotor. In squirrel cage type, the connecting bars slide into the slots and shorted at both ends by the end rings. They're laminated by, that is conductor bars slide into slots and shorted at both ends by shorting rings. And wound rotor, that is a complete set of three-phase windings exactly as a stator. Normally it is a star connected. The ends of three rotor wires are connected to three slip rings on the rotor shaft. In this way, the rotor circuit is accessible. Rotor circuit is accessible. And here the construction one more is, that is the diagram is represented as squirrel cage and wound rotor or slip ring induction, slip ring rotor also. And there is a power losses, efficiency improvement. What are the methods to take? So these points already discussed in first slide of this topic. Pixel losses, thinner gauge, stator copper loss, more copper and large conductor, rotor copper losses, use large conductors, friction windage losses, is of low loss, fan design reduces losses due to the air movement, and stray low losses, use of optimized design and strictly quality control procedures to minimize the stray low losses. Okay, so these are the points already covered in first slide and first chapter also. So that is the same theory is presented here only. And we require special design features in high efficiency motors. So here high efficiency are achieved by the following features. First, low loss special grade of thinner laminations. Low loss special grade of thinner laminations. So this reduces the iron losses even at partial loads also. Thicker conductors and more copper content reduce copper loss due to lower resistance. So longer core length reduced and uniform air gap between stator and rotor to reduce stray-low losses. Uniform air between, that is stator and rotor, to reduce the stray losses. Special design of fan and fan cover to reduce windage losses. Special design of fan and fan cover to reduce windage losses also. And stator winding. So increase mass of the stator winding. Increase the mass of the stator winding, that is 20% greater than the standard motor size. Stator winding, increase the mass of the stator winding, that is more than 20% of stator standard motor. And second, rotor and end rings, mass of the rotor conductors is increases. And air gap, so that is narrowing the air gap. Laminations, thinner laminations of high quality steel. Okay, that is 26 or 29 gauges instead of 24 gauge. So bearings and fan, so low loss fan design and quality bearings are considered. They design, they're getting a high efficiency. So these are the comparison of the diagrammatically represented as comparison of high efficiency motor and standard motors. So it is nothing but standard efficiency 84%. So it is 87.5% high efficiency, that is in E-pact, and premium efficiency 90.2%. Okay. And comparison of high efficiency motor versus standard motors. So sample comparison of standard versus high efficiency. So first, iron losses in standard 220, high efficiency 104, stator copper loss 530 in standard motors, 298 watts in high efficiency motor. Rotor copper loss 218 in standard motors, 192 in high efficiency motor. Friction and windage losses 71 in standard motors, 70 in high efficiency. Stalo losses 131 in standard motors, 101 in high efficiency. So that by taking high efficiency motor, the losses also very less compared to standard. So that's why the applications are used in a high efficiency motor in most of the industries. Okay, so it is a theory about the constructions and comparison of high efficiency motors with respect to standard motors. Thank you.